You know that feeling when you're completely overwhelmed, just buried and stuff to do, but the very thought of asking for help feels, well, impossible? That intense, almost compulsive need to handle it all by yourself isn't just a personality quirk. It's actually a suit of armor. An armor you probably forged a long time ago to keep yourself safe. Today, we are cracking open that armor to understand the hidden wiring of this extreme self-reliance, a protective pattern we call hyper-independence.
You know what? It's fine. I'll just do it myself. Does that sound familiar? Maybe you've said it when a colleague offers a hand on a tight deadline, or when a friend or partner just wants to be there for you when things get tough. If that phrase is your go-to, your constant refrain, you might be dealing with something a whole lot deeper than just a can-do attitude.
Okay, let's really define this. Hyper-independence is that powerful, almost irresistible drive to manage everything on your own. But here's the absolute key. This is not a character trait you were born with. Nope. It's a learned survival strategy. It's a trauma response. It's your brain making a perfectly logical but pretty devastating calculation based on your past. The only person I can really count on is me. So, to really get a handle on this, let's start by looking at how it shows up on the surface. You can think of it as the outer layer of that armor, right? It's the part that tells the whole world, I'm fine, I've got this. So, do any of these feel familiar? That gut-level discomfort with asking for help, even when you're totally drowning? Or that constant need for control, because hey, if you delegate, you just can't be sure it'll be done right. This all just leads to chronic stress and burnout, because you are literally carrying the weight of everything, all the time, completely on your own. It's all rooted in this deep-seated fear that needing other people is a weakness, or even worse, that it's actually dangerous. Now, here's where it gets really fascinating. These behaviors, they aren't just conscious choices or some bad habits you've picked up. They are wired, and I mean deeply wired, into your brain's threat detection system. So let's peel back that armor and see what's really going on underneath. And you have to really let this sink in. For someone who is hyper-independent, the simple act of needing help can feel like a genuine life or death survival threat. It's not a thought, it's a feeling, an automatic physiological reaction that kicks in way faster than you can even think about it. So let's break this down. You've got the amygdala, your brain's little alarm system. It processes threats in about 75 milliseconds. That's literally faster than you can blink. Now, if your past experiences taught you that needing help leads to pain or rejection, your amygdala now flags dependency itself as a danger. And at the very same time, chronic stress from childhood can put your whole stress response system, the HPA axis, into overdrive, constantly pumping out cortisol. This makes it incredibly hard for your brain to tell the difference between a danger from your past and a safe situation right here in the present. And get this is a total paradox of our biology. We usually think of oxytocin as the cuddle hormone, right? The thing that helps us trust and connect. But research shows that for people whose history leads to an avoidant attachment style, which is often the foundation of hyperindependence, a rush of oxytocin can actually spike their anxiety. The brain basically misinterprets this signal for bonding as a threat to its autonomy, and it triggers this powerful urge to pull away, right at the moment someone is trying to get close and be supportive. So, where does all this brain-level rewiring even come from? Well, to figure that out, we have to go deeper, to the historical core of the issue. This armor, it was forged in childhood, in environments where being self-reliant wasn't a choice. It was a flat-out necessity for survival. I mean, just look at the difference here. In a secure, safe environment, a kid learns that when they reach out, they get comfort, they get safety. But in an unreliable or neglectful home, a kid learns the exact opposite. Their needs are ignored, maybe their vulnerabilities even mocked or punished. So the lesson their little developing brain learns is stark, and it's simple. To be safe, I must rely only on myself, period. And two of the most powerful drivers behind this are emotional neglect and something called parentification. Emotional neglect isn't about what bad things happened, it's about what didn't happen. That lack of comfort, of validation, of just being seen. And parentification, that's a profound role reversal where a child is basically forced to become the caregiver for their own parents or siblings. They get praised for being so mature, but in the process, their own childhood needs just get completely erased. They learn to suppress what they need because they've been taught their only job is to take care of everyone else. Now, this armor, this fierce self-reliance, it's actually an incredible adaptation that helps a child survive a really unsafe environment. But what happens when that kid grows up and becomes an adult? Well, the armor that once protected them, it starts to become a cage. And the cost of living in that cage is immense. Real intimacy, real connection, it requires us to be vulnerable with each other.
But the armor of hyperindependence makes that feel totally impossible. So it blocks those deep, authentic connections, and it can leave you feeling incredibly lonely even when you're surrounded by people. It leads straight to chronic burnout because you're trying to do the job of an entire support system all by yourself. And the real irony is, while you're pushing away help, you might even start to feel resentful that nobody's helping, completely unaware that your own defenses have made it impossible for anyone to get in.
So the big question is it even possible to start taking off the armor? And the answer is absolutely yes. But it's a process. It's about unlearning those old survival patterns and carefully building new pathways for connection. So let's look at what that path forward looks like.
And this is so crucial. The goal here isn't to swing from total independence to total dependence on others. Not at all. The real aim is healthy interdependence, that beautiful balance where you can be self-reliant and you can comfortably give and receive support. It's all about balance.
The very first step is just self-compassion. This isn't a character flaw. It's a testament to how resilient you had to be. Next, you can start to gently challenge those core beliefs. Is needing other people really a weakness, or is it just part of being human? Then you practice what we can call micro-vulnerabilities. Start really small. Ask a coworker for their opinion on an email. Ask a friend for a quick piece of advice. These are like small, safe reps at the gym that begin to build a new muscle of trust and teach your nervous system that it actually is safe to lean on others. And of course, working with a trauma-informed therapist can be absolutely transformative in healing those root causes.
So I guess I'll just leave you with this thought. For what might be a lifetime, you may have believed that being vulnerable was the most dangerous thing in the world. But what if it isn't a weakness that you have to hide at all costs? What if it's actually the gateway, the only gateway to the deep connection, the support, and the sense of belonging that you were denied, but that you have always deserved?